Hi everybody, welcome to MMA Newsfeed. Let's talk about UFC 285. First of all, let's take a minute to appreciate the build-up, the magnitude, and the performance of the fighters. Boy, did it deliver. Everything was absolutely amazing, from the early prelims all the way to the main fight. I mean, really, if you look at the prelims, the first fight that stood up the most was the undefeated 22-year-old bantamweight prospect Cameron Saman, fighting out of South Africa. The dynamic kickboxing with fast movement and speed, as well as vicious ground and pound throughout the whole fight, allowed him to secure a decision win against the tough 26-year-old Leomane Martinez. Next up is another undefeated prospect from Ireland, Ian Gary, that faced with Song Kenan. Song Kenan was coming up after the first round knockout to Max Griffin, so he had a lot to prove in that fight. However, the talent of Ian Gary was too much for him to handle. After a number of jabs and head kicks landed on Kenan, Ian Gary was able to drop Kenan and finish him with ground and pound. There's a question in the mix: where does Ian Gary stand? Is there a next superstar to the likes of Conor McGregor and Sean O'Malley, or another hype train waiting to be derailed? Only time will show. In the main card, we have witnessed another undefeated 27-year-old prospect, Bo Nickel, with an exceptional wrestling career in the past, multiple NCAA champion with decent jiu-jitsu skills. He was able to finish his opponent, Jamie, with a head and arm choke in a little over 2 minutes in the very first round, with a little to no damage on the feet. He was able to drag his opponent down and get a finish. One thing to mention is there is an ongoing debate about Nicol being able to take his opponent down due to unintentional groin strike before the takedown. However, Nicol denied the possibility of it in his post-interview. Next up is Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jov Neal. First of all, Shavkat is an undefeated fighter from Kazakhstan with a record of 16-0, 8 knockouts and 8 submissions. Even though he fights out of Kokshetau, he lives and trains in Almaty in Kazakhstan. The fight itself is nothing short of amazing. Throughout the whole fight, Shavkat was able to control the distance and use the straight punches and knees to the body that ultimately took a toll on Geoff Neal. Shavkat was also able to land beautiful head kicks that rocked Geoff Neal and cut him open in the first round. In the third round, Shavkat was able to land straight cross and busted the nose of Geoff Neal and sent him back towards the cage, which ultimately led to him giving up his back and Rakhmonov being able to choke him with a unique standing choke from the back. It is obvious that Shavkat was going into this fight to prove his skills and test himself, as we did not see him throw as many kicks as he usually throws, and focusing more on boxing with Geoff Neal, which did put him in a few dangerous positions. However, he was able to deal with it and prove that he's not only a good kicker and grappler, but all along an exceptional mixed martial artist with diverse skill sets. As expected, this fight has earned the Fight of the Night status, and each fighter received a $50,000 bonus. Even though Geoff Neal missed his weight by 4 pounds, Dana White told the media that he will be willing to make an exception for him and to still get a bonus. I mean, the fact that Geoff Neal missed his weight by 4 pounds and Shavkat being able to finish Geoff Neal in that fashion makes his victory even more impressive. In his interview after the fight, Shavkat mentioned he wants to fight Colby Covington or fight it for the title next. Even though he beat number 7 in the rankings, Dana White expressed his excitement about that statement, most likely attributing to his impressive record and an amazing performance as well as the fact that he's the first male fighter from Kazakhstan signed by UFC, with great potential to be the first Kazakh UFC champion. Next up is the first title fight of the night, uh, Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. It was a very close fight on the feet, with Shevchenko landing more kicks and Grasso being able to land more punches in the close range. Overall, Shevchenko was winning the fight with the ability to take Grasso down 4 times and being able to control on the ground. However, in the fourth round, Shevchenko made a huge mistake by throwing a spinning kick to the body while Grasso was closing the distance, which resulted in Shevchenko giving up her back and Grasso capitalizing on that and finishing the fight with a rear naked choke. It is clear that there will be an immediate rematch between them in the near future due to the nature of the win and the number of title defenses by Shevchenko. Finally, we move on to the main event of the evening, the long-awaited return of the greatest fighter of all time, Johnny Bones Jones, facing up with the number one contender in the heavyweight division, Cyril Bon Gaman Gan. The story of the fight was short. Jones was able to drag his opponent down while slipping the left cross from Gan and secure a guillotine choke during the very first round. Once again, Jones proved why he carries the name of the greatest fighter of all time after his fight with Jones called out the former heavyweight king Stipe Miocic. Overall, it was an amazing event, exceeding all the expectations. Thanks to everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Next week we will be covering an exciting fight between Piotr Yan and Mirab Dvalishvili.